Sunshine's all upon my face, my friends. My glass in hand, and all my inhibitions. I just came without a trace. I'm good, falling down. Somebody who I'm keeping around. This is not a turn, but this way is going. This is not the turn. This way is going.
Enable and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
As we approach the midway point of this 2024-25 women's soccer season on a balmy Bellow Saturday, we are faced with an all-NESCAC encounter between the visiting Bantams of Trinity College and your Tufts University Jumbos. Playoff storylines are starting to come together, and every game becomes more and more crucial. Tufts has had 2 fantastic goals featured on the SportsCenter Top 10 plays just this past week, so they'll be hoping to add another one to their tally. And for Trinity, they will be looking to climb up the NESCAC standings after a tough start to their conference play. My name is Max Antonini, and I am joined by Karsten Lyle here on Color Commentary. Karsten, how are you doing, and what can we expect from today's game for our noon kickoff and first game of 3 here on JumboCast?
I'm doing great, Max. Excited to commentate this one with you, and I'm excited to be here today. It should be a relatively good game. We saw a very good game last season where Tufts won 2-1 at Trinity. It was a game slightly dominated by Trinity, but overall a very close one. But a lot has changed since that day, especially for Trinity, who has lost a lot of seniors, has lost a lot of players, and their lineup is looking very different this year than it was last year. And so today we can probably expect a game that's going to be largely dominated by Tufts based on how the season's been going for both teams. Tufts has been playing super well recently. Had some points dropped in the NESCAC, but overall in a much better position to make the NESCAC playoffs than Trinity is. Trinity currently at the bottom of the NESCAC standings. And so I think we can see a game where Trinity is going to try and scrape opportunities. We've seen they're a very physical team, second most fouls in the NESCAC this year. We can expect for them to try and put Tufts off their game largely today. And so, I'm excited to see it because I think it's going to be a very tactical game. I think for Trinity, they're going to have to play super well, better than they have recently if they want to get a result here. And for Tufts, I think they really just have to keep doing what they have been doing recently, keep playing their game. They've been looking good. As you said, 2 plays on SportsCenter Top 10 recently. It's kind of emblematic of some of the feats they've been achieving recently. And then a matchup that I really want to look out for is Linden and Aries, 2 star strikers for this team. Linden with 3 goals on the year, Aries with 4 on the year. And so that's a matchup that I'm really interested to see. And I really think that whoever wins this game is going to come down to which one of those players is playing better and which one of them can put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's an excellent point. You have Elsie Aries, who was an All-American just last year, and you have Elena Lindenen, who was just the NESCAC Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. So these are 2 quality sides for Trinity. They may not have shown it in their results. They've obviously had some tough matchups against some highly ranked opponents, including MIT, Middlebury, Williams, who've all been ranked within the top 20. Tufts being another ranked team who are number 25 in the country right now, having started number 4 in the preseason, given their excellent Final Four run just last year. But as you mentioned, I think Trinity, they have a point to prove. No wins in the NESCAC so far, but that doesn't mean their season's over yet. They still could, have a run, get the momentum going. This could be today, but for Tufts, as I said, proving a point, putting their foot down. They had a very impressive win against MIT just last week, which was one of the goals that was featured on SportsCenter Top 10, that being of Emily Nicholas. Caroline Kelly also had a fantastic free kick goal in that match. So you have some women on this pitch here who have been scoring some fantastic goals, and I think Tufts should be favored here, but that doesn't mean Trinity don't have any semblance of a chance. So I'm excited to get this one kicked off as the wind starts to pick up here on Bellow. It's our noon kickoff. First of 3 games, as I mentioned, men's soccer to follow this, and football starting at 1:30 on Ellis. Nicholas to start us off. Deflected out. Here is Lindenen, number 15. Sumner also had a goal against Endicott in their last match. Aries on the far side. With a cross inside and collected for Bracken, her first involvement of today. And she'll look to get things going quickly. That's Fisher on the left side. Now Almany. Cleared away easily for Arcella. Arcella's an interesting case, no? She may not have expected to be involved at this stage in the season, but given the injuries, I think she has done quite a good job for herself, having to sub in for the injured Holzberline and Maggie Rogers.
Yeah, obviously a great opportunity for her to really cement herself on this team. And, at the beginning of the season, as you said, she wouldn't have expected to get this many opportunities. And so, a good tackle there from her. And, it'll be fun to watch her in this game. and on that left side. She doesn't have the toughest matchup as with Linden playing on the right, but obviously wing one-on-one is very
Corner
important.
whipped in here. Cleared away by Segru. And Tufts line will move up. Kelly with the pressure. Aries looking to collect that ball. Cleared away by Olsen. Popped up in the air. Fighting for it. Nicholas. Comes down to Rieger. Almost a through ball for Almany. Takes a deflection. And Linden will chase with Kushner on her back. Tries to flick it up inside. Still fighting for it. O'Neal clears it away. Safety first. Will be a throw for Trinity. Some good progression so far in this match for Trinity.
Yeah, putting the Tufts back line under pressure 2 times. They've had to clear it out. This time going out for a throw and the last one for a corner. And it's a good start for Trinity, even though it's only been a couple minutes.
Yeah, always the early signs are impressive as you have Rieger now in the box. Comes off O'Neal. Now a second corner for Trinity. This is something we noted in the pregame. Corners are a good method for Trinity of
yeah,
attack.
they've had a lot of them this season. And 2 already in this game. I think they'll be very happy with that. And, these are good opportunities. Tufts, we've seen them score a lot of corners this season. Trinity going to attempt to do the same.
Yeah, Trinity haven't been as incisive with their attack, but that one's cleared away as well. Still Trinity ball. Fisher with the ball inside. Trying to find Almany. Manages to do so. Still fighting for it. Attempted shot by Charette. Now out wide, it's Olsen, the captain. Floats that ball inside. Cleared away by O'Neal. Poked away. Now Lindenen. Aries gets the loose ball. Looking for Sumner on the far side, on the run. Kushner now with some time. Scanning her options. Finds Kelly. Pressure on her back. Back to Sumner. And now Aries can turn into space. She has loads of space to work with. Can she find the ball? No. Still bouncing around. Now Lindenen. Scored in the last matchup against Tufts last year. Kushner now. Here's Sumner. Again, with some space to work with. Sumner looking for the switch ball. Harmlessly into the hands of Bracken.
It is twice now, though, just in that sequence that we see the Trinity either backline or midfielders not getting tight enough to the runs of Tufts, especially when they check back towards the defense. That's definitely something they have to look out for, because when Tufts is able to turn, as we've seen this season, the balls that they're able to play either to the far side or the near side have been very good. And so they don't want to keep letting that happen, because Tufts is eventually going to find an opening in their back line.
Yeah, and something I think we've noticed as well in the way teams have approached Tufts is kind of to double mark Aries, which leaves gaps open. Now, on the far side, whipped inside to Aries. Poked away by Correnti. Quick throw into Summers. Trying to flick it on. Still alive. Aries inside the 6. Pass back to Kelly. Blocked. That's Birch now. Top of the 18. With a shot deflected and cleared away. Segru now having to pressure. This could be a 2v2 opportunity. Trinity asking for a hand. They will get it. Segru complies and heads back. Now some time for Trinity to reset. But as I was saying, what do you think of Aries and their approach of man marking her?
Yeah, I think it's something that teams, like when they see her statistics, it's definitely something they have to look out for in her accolades that she's acquired over the past couple seasons. And so, for some teams it's a necessity, and they feel it's a necessity. But obviously, as you said, that leaves other players open. And we saw it on that previous sequence with the layoff and everything. As soon as those players will start to get close to areas, it can leave players open who behind her in some space. And that's something that Tufts really has to look out for and kind of try and take advantage of. And for Trinity, you have to be really aggressive in your marking of areas and as well as the closing down of the players who you are going to inevitably leave open.
And we know Trinity to be one of the most aggressive teams in the NESCAC. Are already racking up 6 yellow cards this season, which is quite the number, given that Tufts, I believe, haven't acquired any. Only one. Oh, 2. Sorry. Thank you, John. Still, I think it goes to show Trinity will be playing more aggressive in this match, and if Tufts can, take advantage of that, as you said, find Kelly, find those open feet, I think Tufts could be in for a good day. We saw Kelly score an absolute ripper of a shot here on Bello against Colby in the first minute of their match. So Obviously, that didn't happen today, but it's an example of one of those of what can happen. Now, free throw. Free throw. That's basketball. Sorry. Throw in on the far side. Kelly. Back to Summers. Here's Birch. Summers again. Floated through ball. Correnti deals with it. Out for a throw. Summers will look to take. Long throw into the box. Bouncing around. Aries fighting for it. Now Nicholas. Header down. Sumner. Be able to save? No, she won't. Lindenen picks that one up. Out to Rieger. Tufts. Good defense, as we've seen many times. Trinity also quite known for their defense last season, conceding only 11 goals the entire season with a great ratio, but also struggled with goal scoring. Now Summers through. Inside. Just can't find anyone on the far post. Birch will let that one roll out. And it will be a throw.
Yeah, and again, from a Trinity perspective, it's just too much time given, especially to those wide players. You know, when Tufts, we've seen this season, when they have the ability they're given the ability to play those balls in with that much time, they're going to make the most of it, and they're going to generate opportunities. So Trinity really has to be careful. They have to be a little bit more aggressive closing down those players.
Now, that was a corner, excuse me. Oh, it's popped around. Oh, off the goal line, still alive, and it's back of the net. Is that Arcella?
I do believe so. That's a little bit of a jammy goal in there, but cleared off the line twice, and Trinity just unable to get it away. They have to clear that sooner, but Tufts making the most of it. And you know it's not the most beautiful goal, but I'm sure the whole Tufts bench and the coaching staff will take that. And very happy for Arcella. First goal, I believe.
Second goal.
Second
goal.
Back to
back now.
back to back. Okay.
That's exciting for her. I mean, what a sequence it's been. That was, as you said, kind of a jammy goal. The corner couldn't see that it was taken on the far side, but bobbled around, cleared off the goal line, and you know they all count the same. And for Arcella, 2 goals now in 2 games. That will definitely put a smile on the Tufts bench, as you mentioned. And for Trinity now, we mentioned their defensive prowess last year and their offensive mishaps. It doesn't seem to be going their way so far, but good start now for Tufts. 1-0.
Yeah, Trinity kind of has to get back to what they were doing in those first couple minutes, putting pressure on the Tufts back line. They haven't really been able to do that since. And, you know, Tufts has been really good on set pieces this year, whether it's direct shots at goal or off corners. Their center backs have been great. Their back line has been great. And that's just another example of that. That's something that, as a team, you know, it's a great bonus to have because the set piece opportunities, you don't really have to do too much work to, once you've gotten them, you don't have to generate a lot else. So it's a great asset to have for Tufts, and we're seeing it pay off against them.
Yeah, being able to convert on set piece is a huge part of the D3 game, I'd say. And yeah, it doesn't have to be the cleanest, but they managed to keep the pressure on. Trinity almost got it away with those goal line clearances, but popped up in the air. Trinity were looking to fight back. Segru, bit of a miscue. O'Neal now out for a throw for Trinity. Lindenen will look to get her mark on this game. It's been hard to get around those 2 center backs, as you mentioned, of O'Neal and Segru. But Trinity now with a 3rd corner of the match so far, just in the first 10 minutes.
Looking to replicate what Tufts just did on the other end.
Yeah, a bit of communication, very, very key in these set pieces. So if Edwards can clear lines or if a header away, that's what they'll be wanting. Popped around inside, blocked, into the back of the net, but offside is the call. As you mentioned, almost replicated, but offside. I think that was on Lindenen. Fired into the back of the net, but saved by the flag. Tufts might have gone away with one there.
Yeah, I thought when the ball fell to Charette there on the right side that she was going to put it in herself. There was absolutely no one marking her.
Yeah.
And I thought that first one was going to go in, but it just wasn't powerful enough, and it fell again. And, you know, from a Trinity perspective, those are good opportunities to generate. And although it's offsides and unfortunately won't count for them, you know, that's promising for them that they can generate that off a set piece.
Yeah, no, definitely important. The warning signs could be on display here as Trinity with another chance into the box, collected by Edwards. Yeah, this is a moment to keep your composure. Do not let that rattle you. Obviously, offside can feel like a saving grace, but need to be alert now. Segru with the ball in her 3rd. Nicholas back to Segru. Trinity playing with a high press here. Finding Aries with a woman at her back. Can still win it. Poked back to Summers. Aries now around midfield. Birch through to Summers. Can she make the run? A good tackle there. Looked like all ball. That was number 8, Almany. No, excuse me, Carenti.
Yeah, good tackle. Good play from Tufts as well, working out of the back all the way up, and now they're attacking third.
Now Aries on the feed from Kelly. Back to Kelly with the shot. Collected by Bracken. Good connections there. 1-2 between Kelly and Aries. 2 standouts so far this season, and showing as to why that's the case. Bracken now urging her team to move up the pitch with the punt. Lands around midfield. Fought for by Charette. Now Zarcella, the goal scorer. Summers, misplay. Zarcella tries to win it back. Falls to Almany. Now Kelly. Out wide. Arcella. Inside to Birch. Good connections here. Summers now on the far side, but cut out by Olsen. Segru with the header, but into the feet of Charette. Floated ball. Can Rieger do anything with it? The first year. Arcella, good fight. Throw in for Trinity.
And Trinity in the last few sequences here trying a lot of long balls, trying to put the Tufts center backs under pressure. And in my opinion, I think we've seen this season the Tufts center backs are able to deal with those long balls. Great ability in the air, but Trinity
Long ball there.
Through, yeah. Clearly trying to make the center backs uncomfortable. Maybe they don't feel as comfortable playing through the defense on the ground and looking for those long balls, those through balls to try and get the defenders in one-on-ones. And we've seen the attack, especially that right side for Tufts, and attack Arcella's side more frequently than the others.
Yeah, definitely a good point to watch. You have Summers, and Aries does a very good job of dropping back and trying to create the play. And Birch playing in the midfield role. Segru with the long ball now. Finding Summers on that right side. Almany will not take any chances. Out for a throw.
That's something to look out for there. You have Tufts in a 3-on-2 in that sequence. Trinity not dropping back quick enough and marking those players well enough. If that ball gets through, that's a great opportunity for Tufts on the break.
Another throw. Aries will delegate it to Summers. Around the 18. Long throw inside. Bounces around. Summer comes to collect. Aries with the shot. Blocked. Still alive. Kelly with it. Looking out wide to Kushner. She has some space to work with. What can she do? Sumner fighting for it with Olsen. Olsen will clear it away. Tufts throw. And this is something I think Trinity are starting to get a grasp of their in these games, because they only managed to score 2 in their first 5 matches. So with a poor defensive record as well. So I think they've started to find their footing, but obviously this is not the start you would have wanted from a Trinity perspective.
Yeah, their output will need to improve, in the rest of the season if they want to make the playoffs, and in this game especially if they want to get back into it.
Popped around. Sumner, good tackle there from Lindenen. Poked away. Will be a tough throw. Kushner to take. Inside to Kelly. 2 on her. Lindenen really fighting for it. Floated around. Caroline O'Neill. Bit of a misplay, but will be out for a harmless Trinity throw. Olsen with the throw. Inside. Back to Olsen. Nicholas will fight for it with Charette. Charette with a younger sister on the team, Kyra Charette, the first year. You could see her featured maybe later on in this match. Charette being the senior. Now, what can Rieger do for it? Floated shot over the crossbar. Almost tried to take Segru one-on-one. Could have been a good chance there.
Yeah, I thought she had it for a moment with the cutback, but that's great defending from Segru, making her uncomfortable and putting her off, and the shot eventually harmlessly sails over the goal. But that's promising, getting those tough center backs into a one-on-one. Those are good opportunities for Trinity, and that really just comes down to the attacker's form in that moment. So those are good snapshot moments where Trinity can try and get back into this game.
Speaking of attacking, Kushner tried to poke it through to Aries. Bit too much on it. Cleared away by Bracken. Can Kushner recollect? Header flicked on. Lindenen in some space. With the through ball now. That's Almany. Oh, bit too much on it. Maybe too daring.
Yeah, a little ambitious there. from Almany, but that was a good chance. Linden with a good through ball. We're seeing, as Kushner in that situation pushed up, and as the center backs pushed up, they're leaving space in behind them, and Trinity looking to expose that. Those are good opportunities if they can just get that final ball a little bit better, and obviously the finish a little bit better.
Yeah, finish. You never know. Could be a deflection. Could create more chances. That one a bit too much on it. Swerved way past the post, but with another chance now, keeping the pressure on. Almany cross inside. Floated high into the air. Charette fighting for it. Kelly now trying to clear. Kushner out to Sumner with pressure though. And won by Olsen. Almany poked back to Olsen. Whipped across. Arcella to fight for it. Manages to do so. High kick called. Or is that offside? Yeah, high kick.
High kick, I'd assume. Maybe offside. Either way.
Either way, tough ball. Now Summers with some space. Good work by her. Finds Aries. Tried the quick pass to Kelly. That connection has worked really well so far. Now Arcella having a great game so far, winning that one. Segru with the pressure from Rieger. Poked away. Trinity throw.
We're seeing in that sequence there, the runs from midfield, they can be super effective. Ailey Aries not able to lay that one off exactly for Caroline Kelly, but those runs from midfield, it looks like the defenders are not picking them up super well. So if that ball goes through, it looks like she's through on goal in those situations, and Tufts should really look to continue doing that.
Yeah, lovely ball from Nicholas. Out to Sumner. We'll try to cut through the defense of Olsen, but she was alert to that. Will be a Tufts corner, but good defensive work there by the senior captain.
Yeah, good tackle from Olsen, but I'm sure Sumner will take that. Not a ton of options in the box for her there, so the corner, better opportunity, and we just saw them score on it early in the game, so clearly looking to do so again here.
Can they replicate their luck, perhaps, from their first goal? Whipped inside. Floated high into the air, cleared by Charette. Aries looking to volley. Not quite the same skill she showed against Endicott that got her onto Sports Center top 10, but there's a reason why she leads the team in shots, and was a good idea still, I'd say. So
yeah, definitely. You should be taking the shot in that situation, especially off the corner. With that many bodies in the box, it's hard to play around it, and chances like that sometimes they pay off, and we saw it pay off last week. So of course you should be taking that shot in that situation.
And during that pause in play, we had a Trinity sub, Iva Carlton, checking in for Sarah Rieger, first year, first sub of the game for either side. Now Lindenen, well spotted by Segru, and still with it. Continues her run, tries to find Nicholas, back to Summers. Good cut back there. Now with some time. Summers back to Nicholas. Summers trying to make the continuation run. Switched out wide to Kushner, under pressure from Carlton. Manages to do enough with Olsen now for Trinity. Hopeful through ball, I'd say. Trying to find the feet of Lindenen, but doesn't manage to do so in the end. Will be a tough throw on the far side.
Yeah, they'll need a little bit better communication there if they want Lindenen to run through onto that ball. It doesn't look like she really had the drive to do so in that sequence, maybe looking for the ball to her feet, but those are good opportunities for Trinity if they can get those through balls to pay off. So I'm assuming we're going to see that a lot this game.
Floated around. Sumner poked away by Olsen. She's done a good job of marking Sumner.
Yeah, another good tackle from her.
Almany now leads her team in shots. Won by Nicholas. Kelly now into Birch. Now Nicholas back in the 6 role. Out to Summers. Good connecting passes here. Trying to find Kelly on the far run. Gets tripped up. We'll go the other way. Kind of a surprise there. Seemed like Kelly got tripped up.
Yeah, I think the referee thinks that Kelly drops back and maybe undercuts the defender a little bit. But that's a good sequence from Tufts, really maintaining possession very well. When those wingers and their midfield players drop back and check in to receive the ball from the defense, it's a little bit risky, but they've shown that they're capable of doing it in this game, and it helps them move the ball up the pitch eventually because it gets those defenders out of position, and we saw that there. Kelly, if that goes through, that's a great opportunity.
Lindenen with the ball, trying to find Almany, but into the hands of Edwards. And as you're saying, that's something I think Tufts has done so well with already 22 assists on the year. It's that passing play. It's those connections that really make this team, why they're still ranked in the top 25. That one headed away. But as you're saying, those connections very, very crucial in the NESCAC play, especially against higher quality opposition. And unfortunate for Kelly there, I think she would have been through on goal if that trip up didn't happen, but still alive with Tufts in possession. Kushner into Aries. Trying to find Kelly. She wins it. Now out wide. Bit of a inaccurate pass, but poked away by Trinity. That's Grattan. Also a new introduction compared to Trinity's 2-1 win over Johnson and Wales University, in which Grattan and Charette are featuring this time around in place of Trotsky and Kenny. Throw. Arcella with the ball inside. Sumner, bit of a scorpion kick attempt.
Yeah, audacious, a little audacious.
Audacious, but not a bad attempt at all. Carlton under pressure from Kushner. Almany on this near line. O'Neal. Carlton. Nicholas now comes away with it into space. Looking for Aries on the run. Decides not to. Finds Birch. Back inside. That's Nicholas. Has a go. Blocked. Charette clears away. Arcella gets spun around. And now Trinity can move. But that final pass, that incisive ball wasn't there, and won back by Tufts.
Yeah, we've seen that happen a couple times. The Trinity players are able to beat their first woman on them, but then the final ball, that through ball, just hasn't been good enough so far, and they really need to improve on that, because those opportunities where they can kind of break at the Tufts defense and get those overloads on a certain side, or get those players through running at the goalkeeper and at the back line. Those are great opportunities for Trinity, especially if it doesn't look like they're going to be able to play the ball through the Tufts defense as effectively. So those long balls are going to be super important. They just have to, improve on the quality and the execution of it a little bit.
Yeah, obviously once you get into that space, it's very exciting, but you just have to know what to do with it after that. And that's something perhaps Trinity have struggled with so far this year, as Linden has not been able to quite leave her mark, maybe perhaps of those through balls. On the next whistle, we'll have Taylor Trotsky sub in, someone who was a starter in the last game, as I mentioned. But for now, it will be Summers with the throw. Seen that quite a few times. Into Kelly. Cleared away. Still alive. Arcella with the long ball. That'll go down as a shot, but easy enough for Lily Bracken. Bracken now scanning her options. Punted away. That's coming over towards us. Bouncing. Clear. Mishit. Kushner clearing away. Will be a Trinity throw. Now that sub coming in. Taylor Trotsky in for Lauren Grattan. So Olsen, I'd say one of the standouts for the Bantam side so far.
Yeah, she's been good. Great tackles. And that change right there, that's an attacking change. I believe a defender. It looks like she'll slot into the midfield, Trotsky, but clearly looking to put the pressure on Tufts a little bit here. Maybe going into a back three. It doesn't look like they have all four members back there anymore.
Yeah, and doing so well so far now. Collected by O'Neal. She has some time. Out to Kushner. Doing a good job to evade that pressure. Finds Aries. Fought for. Cleared away by Olsen. Into the feet of Deutsch. Now Trotsky with her first touches of the game. Fought for by Nicholas. Well done by her to win that ball. Comes back to Nicholas. Now Caroline Kelly. Birch. That midfield trio working so well. We'll have two subs for the next check-in for Tufts. But Kelly now with the shot. Back of the net. How about that? All her goals this season have been incredible. And another one to her tally. That's 2-0. That is impressive. How about that?
That's an absolutely beautiful finish from her there. Getting the ball, looks like around the top of the box, and that is just an incredible finish. Not a lot that Bracken can do about that in the far corner of her goal. And we've seen it so many times, but what a wonderful finish from Caroline Kelly. And Tufts starting to pull away in this one. They've kind of lost the momentum since the last goal, but that kind of changes everything. Beautiful goal, and she'll get some deserved rest after that.
Yeah, 4 subs coming in now for Tufts. Trinity need to have a kind of a rediscussion. They're having a bit of a huddle there on the 18, And now, I think it's safe to say, if you see Caroline Kelly on that score sheet, you know it was a fantastic goal. Another goal outside the box. I think all her goals so far have been outside the box. We saw that free kick, absolute rocket against MIT. And now for Kelly to give yourself that 2-goal cushion as well. For Tufts, you're on cloud 9. And now you can give your players some rest. You have 4 subs coming in. And now things are really looking up. Oh, but not done yet. Edwards almost had it, but over the top there, the shot. Scary signs. We mentioned that was something we noticed. Conceding right after scoring has been a very, very terrible flaw of this Tufts side. For 3 goals that's happened so far, and almost happened again, but safe and sound for now. Going back to those subs that I mentioned before, Aoife O'Reilly checking in. You had Juliana Rosen, Marin Jones, the freshman, and Audrey Cromit, the first year. So some new faces, always a good sign, but also some regulars. Marin Jones and Aoife O'Reilly being 2 of the first names off the bench into the midfield, swapping in for Kelly and Birch, I believe. Oh, also Anna Griffin on the far side. Was another name that checked in. We initially had 2 subs check in before the goal, and then 3 more just rushed in. So now kind of a different look side for the second half of this first half, as Trinity will look to get play going. Linden in with the ball, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's great defense from O'Neill there, kind of just shepherding that ball out, not giving Linden any opportunities, and she's kind of moved. We saw her start on the right side at the beginning of this game, now moving up towards in a more central role. It looks like they have 2 strikers now, kind of almost also playing with a back 3 at times, with Charette kind of moving forward into the midfield. So it's a more attacking look for Trinity, and maybe that's why they conceded not having those numbers back. Caroline Kelly open on the edge of the box, but you know, this is going to be a very exciting game. Trinity is now going to really try and get those opportunities and push numbers forward. So we can see Tufts try and counterattack, and Trinity put pressure on the Tufts back line.
Yeah, certainly never over until it's over. But for Tufts, really looking to place a stamp on this match. Kushner on the far side, poked into Olsen. Kind of a mishit clearance. Alyssa Keene also checked in during that muddle. Cleared away by Charette. Will be a Tufts throw. But very, I think, good signs from a Tufts perspective. We saw against Endicott, they fell victim to that conceding after scoring as they equalized right after. And so to have that 2-goal cushion is huge. And I think if you're Tufts, why not get a third? You obviously have the momentum. You have everything working your way. So maybe with this new look line, some fresh legs, they can get that done. But for Trinity, obviously don't want to panic, but 0-4 in the NESCAC would not be a good look coming out of Medford, Massachusetts. Still Tufts ball. Out to Rosen. The subs connecting now. Kushner, ball inside. Cleared away by Quijada. O'Neill floated back inside. That's Cromit. Kushner into the air. O'Reilly fighting for it. Won by Trinity. Kushner now. Good clearance to get a possible breakaway out of hand.
That's a good ball from Karsten there, trying to find Elisa Keene on this right side, but great tracking back from Kushner, great awareness to put pressure and to clear that ball out.
As the announcement comes over the speakers, Caroline Kelly's goal is confirmed for that 2-0. Trinity now trying to add 1 onto the scoreboard.
Great
and
turn.
Linden in through. Can she have it? Whipped inside. Well done by Arcella, the goal scorer, having quite the game. Out for another corner, though.
Yeah, Linden kind of spinning her defender there. She's done it a few times in this game. That was the most clear opportunity, and maybe she's a little bit too unselfish there. Could have taken the shot on herself, but instead opted to cross it. And they'll get another corner. Trinity has had a lot of these. They need to kind of try and put some more pressure on Gigi Edwards in the goal here, because you know these are good opportunities, especially as you said in D3 soccer.
Graduate student Nina Sharp just subbed in for Carlton. Ball inside off the back of Jones.
It's a good ball to a good area there.
Cleared away. That's Cromit. Now can they break? Anna Griffin, the fresh legs. Has O'Reilly with her. Still all Griffin. What a run this is. The big tackle there. No call. Will be a throw the other way. No, will be a Trinity throw. Quijada. Griffin now. Inside to Cromit. Still Griffin, subbed in for Summers. Fought for by O'Reilly. Still fighting for it on that far side. Lots of bodies there. Trinity will come away with it. Trying to find Lindonen, but again, that ball just not there enough to connect midfield to attack.
Yeah, I feel like the communication has to be a little bit better there. Neither party really sure whether they're going to check back or run through. Lindonen there not checking back enough, and that's why she didn't receive the ball. So they're going to need to maybe talk that over at halftime or something, kind of enhance the communication if they want to connect the midfield and the front line.
That's something perhaps I think they wanted to discuss after that Kelly goal went in, trying to improve their communication. I think not everyone on the same level of understanding, and kind of goes to show in those sequence of plays. But Trinity now with just under 15 to go in this half. Out to Nicholas, still in this game. She's had a good one so far. Trinity called for the foul. We'll come back.
Yeah, it's a great play from Nicholas there in the midfield, spreading the ball wide. And we've seen that happen a lot. Kushner in a lot of space really often for Tufts. Not, the right winger for Trinity not pressing enough in that situation. That's not something that they necessarily need to do, but it's going to always be an outlet for those Tufts midfielders when they're under pressure.
Sugru on the free kick, cleared away. Kushner with time to settle, but under pressure from Sharp. Kushner inside to Rosen, the senior. Trinity throw in the end. Over the head of Sharp and O'Neal. Now with some time to think about it. Marin Jones, the freshman, has had quite the impressive freshman year. And she draws the foul. Segru. Poked away. Quijada tried to collect. Will be a Tufts corner, which will allow for the introduction of Sarah Hawk in for Nicholas, who also deserves, I think, a few minutes of rest.
Yeah, been a good game for her so far. Playing really well in that defensive midfield role.
And now we'll have the corner. Will be O'Reilly to take. Ball whipped inside. Outswinger. Popped around. Cleared away by Quijada. Arcella. Back to O'Reilly with the shot. Blocked. Arcella again. Inside. Anything there. Jones. Cutback. Griffin with the shot. But a bit too far there. Trying to look for that far post, but not enough whip on it as it sails for a Trinity goal kick.
Yeah, we saw Segura there initially getting open for the header, and that looked like a good one before it was deflected and blocked. But Trinity really just unable to clear their lines. We saw that for the first goal, and we're seeing it again here. Trinity, they need to either get better communication in those situations to know to get the ball out, or they just need to, someone needs to kind of take charge of the situation and alleviate some of the pressure that's on their goalkeeper and on their back line in those situations.
Foul called against Tufts. And, yeah, going back to especially on those corners, I think for Tufts something they do well is they have Segru, O'Neal, Arcella, someone to call out those clearances, someone to really take control of the situation. And for Trinity, it seems like that communication is really harming them as they kind of bobble it around. We've seen many times so far in this match where they just can't deal with that first ball. And then even on that second ball, they need someone to clear it away. It doesn't happen. Could have been another goal-scoring opportunity there for Tufts. They already managed to do so through Arcella. But looking to get play restarted now with Quijada. The long ball up ahead. Griffin with the header. Good win by her. Will be another Trinity set piece and a throw. Poked around. Another Trinity throw. Keep it moving up the field. Another header by Griffin. Hawk. Two first years. Comes off the hand of Marin Jones. Obviously accidental, but will be a Trinity free kick. Multiple free kick and multiple set pieces now. Slowly moving it up the pitch.
Yeah, we're seeing now we can really tell that they've kind of switched into a back three now, and clearly showing that they want to be more attacking. They haven't really been able to take advantage of the the numbers advantage that they have in the midfield and on their forward line so far, but they're going to look to try and alleviate that concern with the long ball.
With this free kick from Olsen, popped around sharp in the box, cleared away by Hawk. Won by Olsen, still alive for Keane. Trying to save. Again, bit of a miscommunication. Keane trying to find back Olsen, but she was also trying to rush for it.
Yeah, two players going for the same ball there.
Yeah. Now Jones, O'Neal. Splits the defenders to Rosen. Out wide to Jones. Moving it along to Arcella. Back inside to Jones. Now with the long through ball, trying to find O'Reilly. Can she make something out of it? She's through on goal. Into Cromit. Touch a bit too far away from her. Inside. How about that? 3-0 Jumbos. What a play that was. Incredible passing play. Something we've seen so well so far. O'Reilly into Cromit. Her first touch may have let her down a bit, but what a great job to cut it back inside under the goalkeeper. Make it 3-0. Great sequence of play. Great ball from O'Reilly. It's a great day to be a Jumbo.
All the way from the back line through the midfield, and that's an absolutely wonderful long ball. Great run from the forwards, and Cromit with her first goal on the season. And, you know, that's super great for her, and that's super great from a Tufts perspective in general, that you're able to build the ball out of the back like that and to have that just absolutely beautiful sequence of play. Every single player who touched the ball there showing efficiency. They're showing the drive and the will to really, you know, move the ball quickly, and Trinity just couldn't keep up with the sheer pace that Tufts had in that counterattack, moving the ball up.
And you see Audrey Cromit showing love to the Tufts bench. I think she'll have a smile on her face the rest of the day. You mentioned first goal of the season, also the first goal of her collegiate career, being as she is a first year, and this being just her fourth match of the season as well in 60 minutes played. I mean, this is fantastic from a Tufts point of view, and you were on that college game where it kind of got ugly. It went up to 6 goals. Could we be seeing more of the same?
I think definitely the way that this game has been going, especially with Trinity kind of pulling more players forward. We see now they really only have 2 center backs now, and not even any of their fullbacks are pushed that far back. They're kind of checking in with those Tufts players. So, you know, this could definitely get a little bit more high scoring here if Trinity continue playing the way they are.
Yeah, Trinity trying to play with a high press, trying to kind of create a mistake, but I think Tufts are composed enough where they can handle that, and it leaves them exposed in the back line, as you mentioned. O'Reilly winning that ball. Fighting for that ball will be a Trinity throw, but yeah, warning signs really starting to show now for Trinity, and perhaps a reason as to why they haven't had a conference win on the board. They have been in decent form with 2 wins in their last 3 games, but this is a whole different battle. Lindonen really fighting.
Yeah, she's shown a lot of aggressiveness in this game. I think the Trinity coaching staff has to be happy with the level of effort that she's put in. Certainly more easy to see than some of the other players on the squad so far in this one. She's definitely fighting for every single ball that gets near her, and she's been very effective compared to the other forwards.
Yeah, you can tell Lindonen wants it, as does Olsen. 2 of the captains showing why they want this game. They want to have at least something out of this half, but it's not looking like it'll be the case. But Trinity have a throw, trying to create something. Back to Lindonen. Cross inside, but no one there for her. O'Neal, time and space. Rosen, under pressure. Poked away by Keane. Tufts throw. 8 minutes to go now in this first half. And has been everything you could want from a Tufts perspective. And Tufts looking to add another one. Perhaps with Arcella, with, again, so much space to work with. She created that long ball for O'Reilly, which found Cromit in the end. So, fantastic game for her. And now Bracken looking to start something up of her own. Olsen. Inside. But no one there for her. O'Neal now. Lindonen really doing a impressive job of trying to press, trying to mark every possibility, but she is only one woman.
Yeah, need to be a little bit more coordinated if they want to press and win the ball back, especially when it's, you know, going back all the way to Gigi Edwards. You know, you need to have multiple players pressing that to win the ball that high up the pitch, and you know that's comes down to the communication that we talked about so much in this half. Maybe that's something that the coaching staff's going to work on at halftime because they just don't seem like they're really together in those moments.
Yeah, it's something that needs to be a coordinated effort, and Tufts showing great coordination there. Rosen with perhaps a little slip, but attack not over yet. And she'll try to win it by the corner flag. Still with it, Rosen. Well done by her. Pokes inside, nobody there for her. And cleared away by Trotsky. Tufts throw.
Yeah, great job beating her defender there. The final ball just letting her down just a little bit too far ahead of the players on the edge of the box, but that's great promising signs that she's able to beat her defender like that in a one-on-one situation, especially kind of backed into the corner like that, so very impressive.
I think something that Tufts does so well is even if that first chance doesn't work, they manage to fight back and they manage to create another opportunity. Poked away by Kushner, perhaps a loose pass. O'Neal with a crucial intervention. Linden could have been through on goal. And Griffin now trying to respond back. Marin Jones. Anna Griffin, 1-2. Trying to find Marin Jones. Keeps it in bounds. Trying to take on her defender. Crossed inside. O'Reilly almost had something, but cleared away. Quijada in her own 18. Back out to Fisher. Under pressure. Back off Segru. Trinity may have called for a handball, but Segru now still with it. Out to Rosen. Under pressure. Foul called. Bit too much pressure from behind there. Will be a free kick, perhaps in a dangerous location.
Yeah, end-to-end stuff here in the last few minutes. Both sides having opportunities. Both sides, the final ball is kind of letting them down a little bit, but Tufts now with a good opportunity off the free kick. They take it short.
Take it short, take it quickly. Arcella, can she find another assist on the day? Crossed. Griffin, back to Kushner. First time, trying to find Cromit. Chested, but offside in the end. Good idea, but perhaps missed time to run just a bit.
Yeah, she just needs to do a little bit more to check back on side there. It's a good ball, good idea from Kushner to try and catch the defense off guard.
Yeah, almost brought it down. Well, she was through on goal if she could turn into space, but offside called in the end. Just under 5 minutes to go now. Keane. Back to Kenny. Won by Kushner. Into Jones. All the way back to Edwards, and Linden will sprint for that. Trying to
dangerously close to Linden in there. Almost, if she stuck a foot out, could have maybe gotten that one. A little bit unlucky from her.
Foul called on Jones. And I think you could see why Linden perhaps was the NESCAC Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. I mean, that effort is so impressive, and it's something you really want from your coaches, and it's clearly recognized by the rest of the league. So Linden always someone to watch out for, but hasn't been able to work quite yet in this game. Called back. Referee reminding Olsen on her whistle. We'll come back to her, but clock will continue ticking. And Olsen will have to take it again. And now we're ready to go. Olsen, lots of women up ahead for her to find. Cleared away by Jones. Cromit under pressure from Olsen. She'll have a go, but sails harmlessly wide.
I think Olsen's been pretty impressive in this game. Some of the tackles that she's put in have been very good, especially when she goes to ground. And those sliding ones, they've been very impressive to watch. And she's now kind of back, looks like by herself almost in this moment. So she's going to have a lot to do in the second half with just the lack of players that Trinity's putting in their back line as they're attempting to go forward and score now.
Yeah, good pressure there from Linden on O'Neal. Will be Deutsch now. O'Reilly trying to win it. Bobbled around. Linden fighting for it. Cleared away by O'Neal. Trinity throw now. 3 minutes to go. Sarah Kenny. Quick throw into Sharp. Flicked on, but no one there for her. O'Neal opting to take that one up. Kushner. Under pressure there from Keane. Dangerous pass. Keane whipped inside. Finds Linden. But good intervention there from Hawk. But the follow-up off the head of Linden. Almost could have been a comedic sequence of events, but Edwards collected it in the end.
Yeah, Gigi Edwards could have been caught off guard there by the deflection. That's good play from Linden again, and she's through on goal if Tufts doesn't send another player to help the defense, and that's great communication and great teamwork from them in the back line. But very impressive from Linden again. I think she's definitely been the most exciting and energetic player in that Trinity front line so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that header on was intentional, but will go down as a shot for her, perhaps. Sarah Hawk called on the foul in midfield. Nina Sharp looking to play the long ball up ahead. A bit short there. But Lindenen fouled perhaps on top of the box. Nothing there. O'Neal into Cromit. Quickly taken into Rosen. Well won there by Sarah Kenny. And now Trinity can move. Finding the ball inside, but O'Neal, as she does so well, sees the pass and snuffs out the danger.
It's a little bit unlucky from Lindenen there. I feel like the referee could have easily blown her whistle for that one. And again, she's showing that she's definitely the most dangerous player. Tufts center backs having a little bit of a harder time dealing with her in the last few minutes. She's really been able to turn her opponent a couple times and just getting unlucky there, being brought down, but unfortunately not given the whistle.
You can
from
see her
Trinity perspective.
You can see her pace. I mean, she's really unrelenting in her presses. And yeah, as you mentioned, could have been a foul called. Seemed to be a bit frustrated with the no call, but remains Tufts ball now as we head into the last minute of this first half. 3-0 the scoreline. Can they see it out all the way? Edwards under pressure from Sharp, but Lindenen will try to chase. Arcella, Hawk, one back by Trinity.
Yeah, good press there from them. We haven't seen them pay off too many times in this one, but that's one of them.
Yeah, it seems to have hurt them more than it has helped them so far, but good win there. But again, as we've seen, Tufts managing to win it back. Rosen trying to win the header. Keane inside to Sharp, but O'Neal alert to it. Kushner poke through to Cromit. Poked back to Jones. Jones, yes. Quijada was there to cut out the through ball. Griffin yelling for it on the far side. Hawk should be easy enough. Last 10 seconds. Edwards telling her team to slow it down. And that will be the end of this first half here on Bello. Quite the entertaining one. On both sides, I'd say Trinity almost equalized with that corner that was called offsides, but ended up not mattering in the end as Tufts really put their foot down. Goals from Arcella, Cromit, and Caroline Kelly, the absolute rocket. How could I forget that? So 3-0 the scoreline here on Bello. Karsten, thoughts on the first half?
I thought it was a good first half, very end-to-end stuff in some moments, some passages of play. Looked good from both sides. Trinity will need to have a good team talk, and the coaches will need to change something at halftime to try and get them back into this game. It will be definitely difficult. They have a uphill battle to fight back into this one. But, again, from a Tufts perspective, they've been very good in this first half. Not too much that you need to change. Maybe getting some new players on who haven't played as much could be fun to see. We saw it pay off there in the first half. So, yeah, I'm excited for the second half. It will be a very good one.
Yeah, stick with us. We have halftime coming up. All smiles here for Tufts. All smiles from us. And hopefully all smiles for you watching. Stick with us. Welcome back to Bellow Field for this second half of the Tufts Trinity Women's Soccer Encounter. Scoreline of 3-0. Welcome back. My name is Max Antonini. I am joined by John. Do you want to say your last name for us?
Hello, my name is Jonare Chaoleta. I'm a senior. I'm going to be color casting. This is my first time on a varsity game, so really excited to be casting.
Excited to have you with us. Karsten will be taking a little break, but will join us back shortly. John, excited to have you aboard. What are your thoughts on that first half, and what do you think we can expect from this second half?
Trinity did start really well, going high press, definitely getting some balls right in the first few minutes, even having some chances, getting that goal that unfortunately was outside for them. But Tufts has been really clinical and lethal every time they've gone into the offense. 3 times, like those 3 goals that they've scored, having basically on counterattacks. And I hope Trinity closes their gaps a bit. They've been playing extremely wide, especially when going that transition from offense to defense. So I hope that they can play more closely knit together, try getting some of that momentum they had at the end of the first half where they started like closing their gaps, getting some balls and trying to put Tufts back in their back third. But I do hope and want to see Trinity, especially in the first few minutes of this game, trying to score one so they can feel that they can come back into this game.
Yeah, and that clinical finishing ability from Tufts has really served them really well so far this year. 23 goals on the season compared to Trinity's 9. So obviously something that has worked so well for them so far. And from a Trinity perspective, obviously you want to get started early. You want to try to claw your way back into this match, but obviously a tough feat against this tough side who has also conceded only 9 goals this season. So equal amounts of goals conceded for Tufts compared to goals scored for Trinity. So obviously a tall task, but as I said before, it's not over until it's over. 45 minutes of soccer left to play here on Bellow. Trinity will get us kicked off. And a new face into the side, I've noticed, it's Phoebe Marsick into the center back role, out for Sagru, possibly an injury. Something to keep an eye out for the future, but Phoebe Marsick will get her first minutes of the game.
If you're Tufts as well, I mean, you're up 3-1. You have an entire second half to go. 3-0 on my bad, yeah. We're talking before about scores, but yeah, 3-0. You definitely want to get maybe some other players, have some minutes. Tufts has been really good at home, especially. They haven't lost a single game. So if you have that confidence and if you feel you can keep that score, you can definitely give some new years or some different players some fresh minutes to play for the first time or second.
Yeah. Exactly, and being Bellow being the fortress that it is will make it even tougher for Trinity. But back underway, Trinity will get it started with a throw in a dangerous position perhaps. Or it will be Tufts on the throw, but in their own corner. Never mind, it will be Trinity.
Yeah, so Trinity definitely wanting to apply that pressure right from the get-go, trying to get just scare Tufts a bit, trying to push them back into a third, and then maybe from that, try getting a play and using the high press that they used to try scoring a goal.
Exactly, and now we will have Rieger outside of the box. Nicholas, much of the same starting 11 that started this match, except for Phoebe Marsick, as previously mentioned. So will be the first string for Tufts. Marsick. Nicholas now, back to Arcella. Lindonen perhaps not taking as much of a high press approach so far. Summers, won by Quijada. Now Lindonen, trying to get away from Arcella, but sees it run out of bounds. Arcella will have the throw.
Something that I see Tufts is doing really well is that even though Trinity's pressing extremely high, they remain composed. They still want to keep playing their passing game. And, you know, you always have a player or so like triangular movements, trying to help each other, trying to get a pass, always trying to look for the opportunity that can break the first line. As every time they've been able to do that, they've had so much space to run like now.
And look at the pace of Sumner now. Trying to cut inside to the 18. Trying to create something into the byline. Olsen poked away for a corner. And again, same trend from the first half. That connection of Aries to Kelly. Kelly finds someone else, being a winger on either side, Summers or Sumner, and manages to win a corner. Kelly will take here on the near side. Is there a fourth goal in the books for Tufts?
Tufts has been really good every single time they've had a stoppage play. So let's see if they can bring something here.
Kelly, ball inside. Popped up. Aries with another flick on. Headed away. One poked away by Aries, but Kelly can't reach it in time. Fisher looking to move things quickly.
Trinity definitely wanting to take advantage of these movements. Maybe try getting a quick pass. They've been extremely fast on their transitions going on from the first half. So once the ball came to our way, I touched it in my hand, but
Well
nothing
done.
happened.
Good save, John.
Using my goalkeeper abilities.
Could have been dangerous, but that's why, John, big goalkeeping fan. All good in the end. Summers. Still with it. Under pressure from Quijada. Still with it. Fighting for it. Out of bounds? No. Lindenen comes away with some pace.
Referee takes us. They just fell. And insane tackle right there.
Lindenen very much involved in this play already. Birch poked up into Kelly, trying to bring it down. Summers into Aries, 1-2. Crossed inside, over the head of Birch, into Sumner. Sumner trying to get around Olsen. Cut back to Kelly with the shot! And floated a bit soft past the far post, but got me excited there. Could have been a second for her, but as Trinity know for sure by now, do not let Kelly have a shot outside the box.
Yeah, well, I was a bit surprised personally right there as well, because as soon as she got the pass, nobody from Trinity went fully to pressure and just closed the gap down. We just allowed, she immediately saw the space and immediately take a shot, which it did not go on goal this time, but you saw in the first half what shot she did to score the third goal, or second.
Exactly. Yeah, so Kelly, surprised they gave her that much space again, but now Almany could be through. Kushner deals with it. Edwards cleared away. Kelly, good composure by her. O'Neal will have time to look and think. Up ahead to Birch, under pressure from Grattan. Out to Kushner and Birch in the midfield. Lots of time trying to find the run of Sumner. But Olsen was there. That matchup being a tough one throughout this match between Sumner and Olsen.
Yeah, Trinity seem to also be keeping two players lower, more closer to the defense, which allows them to just have more players every time touch transitions to the offense. And with that, just being able to close the gaps better, faster, and ensure that even though Tufts has space to run, they're able to block a shot or move quickly.
And moving quickly, Tufts will do now. Aries with the shot. Past the far post again. Good connections from Birch to Aries. Has not found her name on the goal sheet quite yet, but she very well could. Already with 4 on the season and leading her team. The All-American from last year in an incredible Final Four run for the Tufts Women's Jumbos. But will be a goal kick now for Bracken.
Very funny that as soon as I said that, Tufts recovered the ball immediately. There were only 4 Trinity defenders on the back line, which allowed for a great pass that was almost scored by Aries.
And Aries almost wins a corner. Will be a throw. But as I'm sure you'll find out, commentators can have a commentator curse or be a commentator oracle. So we'll see what John turns out to be. Throw taken.
I want to say that I've done many commentator curses.
All right. Oh, Bracken manages to do a good job to hold on to that. We'll have time. Send her team up the field.
Yeah, we'll give the time to move up. Definitely want to have the ball in the Tufts half.
Headed by Arcella. Kelly finding Summers. Tries to bring it down, the grad student. Back to Marsick. Into Nicholas now. Great sequence of passing. Kelly using that pace to her advantage.
Good movement right there, being able to just go past the defender, find space on the right flank.
Now Birch whipped inside. Summers popped away. Headed back, out to Kelly, shot, no good. That ball spinning away, looks primed to be a second goal for her, but hits the outside of the goal. Looked deceptive, almost looked like it snuck in, but nothing in the end. Summers almost had the chance, bit of a header back, popped up for Kelly. She fired the shot, but off target.
We go back to what Karsten was saying in the first half. A lot of miscommunication here by the Trinity players. There's no one focus clear, one just send the ball all the way to the other side. There was just an attempt, and then the ball just stood there, and then Tufts just managed to recover the ball extremely quickly and had an impressive chance. But it's been something that's been happening regularly throughout the game. Some miscommunication that has caused some glaring errors that have allowed Tufts to just be clinical, as we've been seeing all throughout this game.
Yeah, Tufts doing a great job of just making the most of their chances. And for Trinity, you just want to make sure those bobbling balls in the box are handled with easily. But Trinity applying pressure now. Lindenen could have something here. Shot taken. Good idea there from Lindenen, but bit of a hopeful effort as Edwards sees that one sail far past her post.
They have a lot of space to run over there. The Trinity block was mostly on the half side, but Tufts also was very wide right there. So when she grabbed the ball, she was right in the middle. She had so much space to run. I'm pretty sure she could have taken some more time, a couple more seconds, control the ball, and just give a better shot.
Lovely spin by Sumner. And she'll continue her run under pressure from Olsen, as she's always done. But Sumner's still alive with the ball into Kelly. Spinning away from Deutsch. Into the box now. Has time, has space. And that is 2 on the day. Caroline Kelly makes it 4-0. What a run from Sumner. What a run from Kelly. It's really turning out to be her day. And now she leads the team in scoring with 5 on the season. From a Trinity perspective, this is not where you want to be, but Kelly makes them pay.
Everybody ecstatic here. Tufts already winning 4-0. We still have 36 minutes to go. And great individual skill here by both players, especially Kelly right there, just being able to move throughout the defenders. I'm surprised that once again, Trinity defense didn't go back, didn't close space, didn't use more than one player. So much space to just go all the way into the box and just almost leave the goalie in a one-on-one, which...
Yeah, you can't leave her isolated like that. It's too easy, one could say. And surprising how easy it was for her to just get into the box, get that shot off, make it 4-0. And Trinity will definitely be a bit disheartened by that 4th goal now. I think whoever scores the first goal in the second half really can set the tempo. And now Birch trying to add some more. Cut inside. Lovely bit of skill. Floated inside to Olsen. And cleared away by Correnti. Flicked on ahead to Rieger, though. Arcella under pressure from Lindenen. Will clear that away. Will be a Trinity throw.
Yeah, going back to that point, Tufts, if an away team is trying to look at how Tufts has been doing, especially at home, you can see that they've had really large scores, like really large victories over here at Bello. They've had a 4-1 against Syndicate, a 6-1 against Connecticut College, and now we're in a 4-0 against Trinity. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw those scores, you will know that you got to be more tied together. You got to be extremely focused on defense because Tufts is being really, really good at scoring at home, especially at home.
Yeah, there's a reason why the Jumbos love playing on Bello. The men's team had an unbeaten run for almost 3 years, I believe, under coach Kyle Desatel. But for Tufts, undefeated so far this season at home. Looking to be the same. Kelly drawing the foul. But as you said, playing at home is always a good feeling, and for Tufts even more so. You mentioned, I believe it was a 4-1 win over Emerson at home. Con College was 6-1. He had a pretty decisive victory against Colby a few weeks ago. So I think teams around the NESCAC should start to know that Bello is a tough place to come to.
Yeah, and especially in such a tough season with like a few important games coming up against Middlebury, against Amherst. You want to show everybody, you want to get those points, especially at home, as they are your best shot at making it to the playoffs.
Aries almost had a chance there to cut inside to the box, but snuffed out by Correnti. Will be a Tufts corner. As you mentioned, yes, later on in the season, you have those big-time matchups against Middlebury, who will always cause problems. But if you take anything from today, it's that Tufts are ready and able to take on those challenges. As Birch will take the corner. In swinger. Headed on. Out to Nicholas. Shot into the roof of the net. That's 5 now. And the goals keep racking up. How about that? It's that communication that Trinity just doesn't seem to have, and Tufts take advantage of. Nicholas now, another goal to her tally on the season. It's starting to get ugly. But for Tufts, 2 goals in the space of 12 minutes. This is everything you could want, and perhaps for Trinity, need to reevaluate their roster, their lineup, trying to switch something up. It just hasn't worked so far.
That's a glaring defensive issue. Nobody was there on the second line covering, who was the...
Emily Nicholas?
Yeah, Emily Nicholas. Nobody was covering Emily Nicholas. And she had so much space, so much time to just send that ball into the net. Those are like in set pieces. That's the moment where the defense has to stay mostly concentrated. And if you leave an open woman just back there being able to play a second ball with so much pace, so much time, you're almost always going to concede.
Yeah, the far post, always a run to check, and for Trinity, they just did not do that. Nicholas now up to 4 goals on the season, ties her for second on the team, 4 goals, 5 for Kelly now on the season. Your goal scorers really starting to turn up with some new faces as well. You had Cromit in the first half, had Arcella now back-to-back goals. Sumner looking, and they're not letting up. That's what Tufts has done so far this season. They want to add another. Aries wins another corner off the feet of Olsen, and during that stoppage after the goal, we had Lauren Ho check in, the first year from Malaysia, so perhaps she can switch things up, but will be another corner now. Have to be alert, especially given you just conceded a minute ago. Birch, can she replicate some of her magic from before? Whipped in, headed away by Deutsch. Still Tufts ball though. Kelly, can she have a hat trick? Nicholas, inside, into Aries, unmarked, and back of the net. It's 6. This is getting out of hand. Nicholas and Aries connecting. Every name on that Tufts sheet just keeps getting larger.
What an incredible header, but at the same time, so much space. She had so much space to just control and position the ball that went right into the corner. No chance here for Bracken. And, you know, this is starting to get really ugly now.
This is getting ugly, but for Tufts, this is beautiful. I mean, this is incredible linkage of play. Nicholas finding the head of Aries, the shortest woman on the pitch, and she gets a header. It just doesn't make sense, but for Tufts, you certainly can't complain. It's 6 on the day, and now could be starting to look at some record books, because I'm not sure I've quite seen something like this.
Yeah, no, and it could get even worse with 31 minutes still of play. So just sit tight because we might still see some goals happening.
Yeah, when you and I was with Karsten, 3 goals to her whole first half. Now you get on, 3 goals in less than 15 minutes. So this is quite something. Elsie Aries now trying to retop the goal scoring list for Tufts. So now she's on 5 on the season, equal with Kelly. And we're not done yet. 30 minutes to go in this second half. Trinity will look for a consolation, but I'm pretty sure that's all they're going to get. Tufts has looked absolutely dominant in all facets of this game. And look at the space Tufts has. It just never ends. Summers. Back to Nicholas. Cut down to Birch. She has time. Taking on her defender. Still alive. Birch by the corner flag now.
Yeah, you can see that now with 6 goals in favor of Tufts, that the Trinity morale is just not as bad as you came here in the second half with an idea that you'll put a front and you'll try score. That volley almost went in, almost connected that volley. But as I was saying, that idea that you're going to go back, put a fight, maybe get a goal early and just scare Tufts, maybe just get a second, maybe even tie it, but now basically 15 minutes and it's already 3 more for Tufts and a 6-0. And I was also going to say, this is the second game I'm here for JumboCast. First time I was in camera, and both of the games I've been here, 6-1 against Connecticut College, and I was 6-0 against Trinity. So
seems like you should come to more games,
yeah,
by the sound of it.
I think I should come here more often.
Yeah, and for Tufts, I mean, maybe you are the lucky charm, but 6 goals on the day. We'll have 4 Tufts subs coming in at the next whistle. seems like the bench players will start to rotate in now.
The Tufts midfield is so impressive. Trinity just leaves so much space over there, and it just allows easy passes to Aries, to like all the forwards. That no recovery.
Nicholas now with an opportunity. Out to Aries. She can do so much magic. Blocked. Still alive in the 18.
Yeah, now Trinity is just like all morale down. Before there were two people, at least two players were like manning it, making sure Aries couldn't move much, forcing Aries to drop down, especially on that first half, and allow the Tufts flanks to create chances.
Kelly,
but
good idea. Yes, Kelly almost cutting inside into the 18 will be another corner for Tufts.
But now Trinity is just trying to run the clock down. You just want this game to end at this point.
From a Trinity perspective, yes, just want this game to end. And now we'll see quite a number of subs, including goalkeepers for both sides. Don't think I've ever seen quite something like that. So for Tufts will be Aaron Duncan, Camille Liu, Anna Griffin, Hannah Batt, and Natalie Rinker, the senior, for her first minutes of the season. That's always good to see for her. And for Trinity will be Zoe Tamburello, the sophomore keeper, checking in for Lily Bracken. Now this will be really switching things up.
Let's hope this does. Only one switch for Trinity, if I'm not mistaken. We're just waiting.
Waiting for someone to take the corner.
Yeah, nobody has shown up. It seems they've changed the corner specialist corner kick taker, so deciding who will take it now.
Will be Caroline Kelly in the end. Can she create more magic? Whipped inside. That's a dangerous ball. Doesn't get anyone. No one there for Tufts. Cleared away by Almany. Tufts throw.
A lot of Trinity players on the first post, but not many covering the second post. And you saw that ball immediately went to a second post. It was much closer to the goal this time, so nobody was able to touch it. But
Duncan cross into the hands of Tamburello. Her first involvement of the game. And I think it's a clear sign. Once the keeper starts subbing in, then I think that goes to show that this game is pretty much wrapped up.
yeah, no, you want to just give minutes, give playing time to other players. Just have a feel of how Division 3 feels if they're first years. Otherwise, just allow them to play a bit. Maybe rest some players going forward to future games. But at this point, yeah, you just want.
Yeah, always good to consider resting players for the future. Don't want to overexert if you can't help it. So new faces now for Tufts. Hannah Batt inside. Marsick wins it from Lindenin. Now Nicholas into Batt. Can she create something? Poke through. Won by Trinity. Lindenin. She's had a frustrating go at things. Hasn't been able to create anything quite yet. Reese Birch. Turn for Batt. Duncan. Shot into the grateful hands of Zoe Tamburello.
So much space for players like Birch and Nicholas to just grab the ball midfield, just open, raise their heads, look what's in front of them, and just play to one of the sides, player forward that just always is forcing the Trinity defense to stay so low in their third.
And Tufts continue attacking. Will be Camille Liu. Good cross inside, but into the hands of Tamburello. 3 more Tufts subs ready to check in at the next whistle. For Tamburello, she'll be looking to have a shutout at least on the day. But for Trinity, this will be a real reevaluation of where their season's at. But for Tufts, why not get another?
Yeah, they do just come from a win, but this is a very crushing score to be in.
Hannah Batt inside. Cleared away by Charette. Now those Tufts subs and Trinity subs starting to check in. Aoife O'Reilly, Sarah Hawk, and Marin Jones. That Tufts midfield trio will rest for the rest of this game. They've had quite the impressive game, including the brace goal scorer in Caroline Kelly. And for Trinity, that's Lauren Grattan and Jill Fisher coming off. Nina Sharp checked into that game, I believe. Off the shoulder of Correnti. Griffin. Lofted inside. Header. Fought for by Jones. Now
Trinity
Duncan.
really need to get the ball out of here as fast as they can.
Yeah, it's never a good side when you're playing in your third rather than the opposition's. O'Reilly. Chopped down. Cleared away.
And it's in words where basically there's only one player that's being covered by 4, and you can still get a pass in.
And now it's tough if you're a Trinity attacker, really just isolated with Lauren Ho checking now. She's playing in the number 9. Lindonen move over to the right side. But it's won again by Tufts. O'Reilly with it.
Just playing so confident up into Trinity third. And even then, they still have so much space like now.
O'Reilly on the top of the 18. Shot deflected. Sharp comes back to Duncan. Shot. Now O'Reilly again. Finds Duncan. Out to bat on the far side. Offside flag raised.
I understand that Trinity wants to keep the line just so they can move easily if the ball goes from the right to the left. But at the same time, you cannot leave such large gaps throughout the middle of the field. You already saw Kelly's shot. You already see how Emily Nicholas just being able to move the ball so easily. And you got to try closing those gaps faster. Even though you don't have much possession going to the Tufts third, you can just not allow those gaps to exist and allow them to shoot from very far distances. We already saw how good Tufts can be at that.
Yeah, it might be a case of easier said than done for Trinity, but Tufts in good spirits. Griffin with a hard collision there, but all smiles. Hannah Bat. Back to Duncan. Hannah Bat with the through run in behind. Scanning her options. Step over. Cut back to Duncan. Quick shot. Not enough on it. Easy enough for Zoe Tamburello.
Tufts definitely enjoying this at this point.
Yeah, I think these are the kind of games you can really enjoy yourself in from a Tufts point of view. Pressure is completely off now, and you're just trying to get some more minutes up, get some more quality time on the pitch, maybe create something for yourself, but the win is very much in the bag now. Hannah Bat, with so much time, takes a quick shot. She could have done maybe something else with that, but another shot on the board. Tamburello saves.
Good direction, just not much power into it.
Yeah, not much on it in the end, but good idea from Bat. She did manage to get a goal in that 6-1 game against Conn College, so trying to replicate more of the same. Griffin headed away. Marin Jones threw inside. Sarah Hawk. Camille Liu trying to make the run, but cut out by Kenny. Slide tackle from Ho, but again, Tufts doing a good job winning those second balls. Marin Jones back to O'Neill. Through to O'Reilly. Kushner.
We were talking how in the pregame how Trinity has created a lot of chances. It seems they play a very direct transitional style of play. They've had 67 corners before this game, but they've had no chances.
Yeah, they had a few corners earlier in the match as well, but couldn't make the most of it. And in the one chance they did seem to do well was called back offside. And now Tufts really trying to put this one to bed, even though it's already been put to bed.
I also thought that given that Tufts plays a very possession style game with like a lot of passing, a lot of control, trying to break lines, that Trinity will try breaking the game as much as possible. Like just those kind of fouls, it just like slows the game down, allows them to regroup, to reorganize. However, throughout this game, I don't think they've had that many committed fouls against the side of Tufts. I think Tufts has committed more. Yeah,
I mean it's been a tough match either way. Quite physical in the midfield, but Lindonen trying to create something. Cleared away by Griffin. Seems to be playing in a more defensive role than we've normally seen her. Kind of playing in that back four. But now Sarah Hawk with time and space into O'Reilly. Coach is urging her to be patient. Just take your time. Find the correct option. Griffin with a good option for Duncan. Inside, Hannah Bat. Poked around, still Duncan. And cleared away by Quijada.
Yeah, that control a bit unfortunate right there. Making the ball just give that weird bounce that didn't allow her to connect. And as we have somebody falling down.
So we have one down. We'll be sending it to a quick break. Stick with us. And we are back. Olsen seems to be in good enough shape to walk off on her own. We obviously wish her the best, but that her being one of the biggest members of this Trinity lineup already will make the job even tougher for the final 20 minutes. Karsten, welcome back on the call. Thank you to John for commentating the 25. And we have 20 minutes now. Karsten, any thoughts? Entertaining, obviously. But anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, a lot has happened since I left. The 3 goals in 10 minutes and a lot of personnel changes as well. So kind of a completely different game from the one that I was commentating in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see. Tufts clearly looking to add some more goals to the tally. That's always good to get the goal differential up, especially with how tightly contested and compact the NESCAC can be at the end of the season. And for a Trinity perspective, you're kind of just looking to build some momentum maybe at the end of this game. Try and keep the score line. Not too bad. They're making more changes as well to kind of match Tufts' changes. So a lot of new faces we're seeing today, and that's good for both sides.
Yeah, and one of those changes being Caitlin Capitolo checked in for Phoebe Marsick during that injury timeout. But as you said, very different, but also a lot of the same. It was just goals, goals, goals throughout both halves, and the pressure seems to be alleviated for now for Trinity, but again, not over yet. Trinity will make 3 subs. Libby Harris into the game now. Kyra Charette, who I mentioned earlier with her older sister on the team, and Jill Fisher. So it will be a Trinity throw to get things going yet again. Under 20 minutes to go now, and could be ugly, as we mentioned before, but Trinity have done a good job, I'd say, to bounce back from that early onslaught.
Yeah, just some defensive lapses in those 10 minutes. They kind of got stuck in a little bit of a rut, conceding so quickly, just kind of back-to-back. And they've done better in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so of kind of getting rid of some of that pressure on them. And Tufts, maybe that happens just because of the personnel changes. And I'm sure the game will kind of pick up speed as the new players get a little bit more accustomed to the game.
Yeah, and it's something I think you'll be very optimistic for if you're Coach Whiting, just having those players able to rotate in, not overexert anyone. As I've mentioned, they do have another home game on Monday in just 2 days' time against Regis College, which will be their first ever matchup against each other. So they'll want to make sure they are in the best shape for that one just 2 days away.
Yeah, rotations are always super important with the compact schedule. You want to avoid injuries to any of your players, no matter how well they're playing. You need to give them that rest and that ability to kind of recuperate before the next game.
Yeah, and we hope that Sugru, we assume, was an injury, as she
I believe
has
so,
not
yes.
featured in this second half, but the first years who have taken up her place. Caitlin Capitolo and Phoebe Marsick have done a great job so far. And Trinity will look to create something else. I've noticed Natalie Rinker, who did check in towards the beginning of the second half, has had barely anything to do. So she is on the pitch, but maybe hasn't had that much action. But again, still just over 16 minutes to go now in the second half. Aoife O'Reilly on the far side, scanning her options. Trying to find the run of Camille Liu, and she does so. One more ball onto Duncan. Tamburello was alert to that, though. Duncan, loads of space to work with, but the ball just outside her reach.
Yeah, that's great awareness from the goalkeeper there to come out and collect that ball. Trinity not doing a great job of tracking the runners, and with less and less women back, kind of trying to push forward to get those goals. You know, you're going to have those situations where you have overloads on some sides, and that's good recognition from Tufts. Great ball movement from them. That final ball from Camille Liu just a little bit too far ahead of Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan has had some good chances in the second half, but nothing to show for it so far. But as we've seen with the starting midfielders, that midfield connection has been outstanding. Throw in now. Quijada. Trinity fighting around will be O'Neill. Poked away. Libby Harris with the pressure. And now 4 new tough subs coming in. Try to get you through all that. That's Emma Finnerty, Maisie Neville, Juliana Rosen, and Audrey Cromit, the goal scorer. Coming off will be Lou, Kushner, Duncan, and one other name I can't seem to find. Oh, that will be Hannah Bat. Now, 15 minutes to go. Tamburello has done a good job since checking in. She has had a somewhat of a share of minutes so far this season, as Bracken has started the majority of games so far.
Yeah, always good to get the goalkeeper rotations in, both sides doing it now that the game seems a little bit more settled. So always good for the goalkeepers to get those minutes, and for everyone else as well. I mean, you're seeing from Tufts here like a completely different lineup from the one that started the game. So always good to get minutes for any player, no matter the position.
That's a very good point, and who knows, maybe Tamburello will take up the post in between the posts in the future, but for now, focus will be for both sides just to see this game out. For Tufts, perhaps keep their clean sheet. For Trinity, perhaps get a goal on the board. And it will not let up with a quick throw now. Almany crossed it in, still fighting for it. Maisie Neville still in a battle. Anna Griffin deflected, out for a Tufts throw. Another throw inside. Marin Jones whipped around. Audrey Cromit poke through to O'Reilly. She tries to find Cromit, wins it back though. Still under pressure from Deutsch now. Ball inside. Neville trying to run onto it. But Nina Sharp is there to deal with it. Cleared away by Tamburello. High ball. Marin Jones trying to bring it down. Griffin will do that for her. Griffin with perhaps a miss hit. Poked on. Ooh, just out of bounds for Almany, but could have been a dangerous play. And it's almost a completely different back line now. The lone exception being Caroline O'Neill, as she always manages to play the full 90.
Yeah, just a little bit of stability in there for Tufts. I feel like with all the changes, you kind of need that one player, that one leader in your side who's going to kind of keep everything in check. And so that's a smart decision from the coaching staff there.
Yeah, despite all the changes, all the rotation and mix around, O'Neill remains. So I think that's a good point. Her being the senior, I think it's always good to have someone like that to look up to, given that the majority of this 11 now might be first years, or at least underclassmen. Through now, Marin Jones. Into Rosen. Deflected and out for a Tufts throw. I remind you that after this game will be the Tufts Trinity men's game, as both sides start to make their way to Bello. That should also be an entertaining game, and also a tale of two sides, as Tufts men's team have had a very impressive season so far, still undefeated, while Trinity Can't quite say the same, but should be a good match nonetheless. Trinity making another sub. Mallory Kerr, the 5'10 freshman, in for Emma Almany. It's Finnerty fighting for it. O'Reilly trying to evade pressure. Long ball. Doesn't find her woman. But still on, maybe, for Neville. Good hustle there from her. Griffin up trying to apply pressure. Jones also applying pressure. Still alive. Good turn there from Deutsch, though. She'll try to continue her run. Into the feet. Into the run of Kerr. Not quite to the feet of Kerr. Tufts throw.
And we're seeing with all the changes, Tufts was really able to put a lot of pressure on the Trinity backline despite being up 6 goals and with only 10 minutes, around 10 minutes left in the game. You know, with the amount of energy that these new players have, they're still able to put pressure on the Trinity defenders and midfielders, and that's something that's very productive for Tufts, and they're really able to get the ball back a lot, and it's reflected in the amount of possession that they've had in this game.
Yeah, and Tufts have done a great job of just finding those connecting passes, and it's something that I'm sure they practice throughout the season, and it's really starting to show here as Trinity have not been able to do quite the same, but not over until it's over. Marion Jones, back to Finnerty. Oh, that's O'Neal, excuse me. Rinker now. Maybe her first touch so far, I'm not sure. Here's Capitolo. Into the feet of O'Reilly, under pressure. Lays it off to Griffin. Up ahead, trying to find Cromit. Nina Sharp was there, though. Cromit not letting up. A shove called on Cromit. Perhaps a bit too much pressure, but good nonetheless.
And it looks like they'll send this one into the box. A decent opportunity to get the ball in.
Yeah, only 2 women behind the ball, but that ball will not go anywhere. As Neville into Cromit. 1-2. O'Reilly pointing up ahead, trying to find Neville. Sails a bit too far out of bounds. But you can see the runs that are being made. I've seen that many times from the Tufts attackers. You see it from Cromit, you see it from Aries. They drop inside, try to lay that ball off, and it's something that's worked really well for them.
Yeah, doing that gets the defenders, especially the fullbacks, out of position, and they're way high up the pitch. And then all the space is behind them. And O'Reilly there, she's done a great job, I think, so far of turning and facing the defense. That ball just a little bit too far for the runner to latch onto, but I think she's been super impressive, and one of those balls will pay off eventually.
Yeah, she's made the most of her minutes, for sure. Finnerty, ooh, dangerous clearance across her 18. Ooh, collision there. Want to make sure she's all right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a late hit from Neville. Clearly no bad intentions in that, just going for the ball and got caught.
Yeah, Mallory Kerr is up and running. Now on the far side, Finnerty trying to win it back. Now O'Reilly in the midfield. Finnerty will rotate it back around, and O'Neal can take her time. O'Neal now can push up into O'Reilly. Capitolo. Lots of time. Trinity seems to have given up the press. Capitolo to Neville. Not quite. Up in the air. Rinker will get her hands on that.
Good for her to use her hands at least once.
And good for this Tufts back line to deal with any threats as easily as they can. I think for Tufts, you want to have a shutout. A clean sheet always feels good. For Trinity as well, haven't quite managed to have a clean sheet on the whole year, so that will be something they need to reconsider. But for Tufts, seems to be all good here.
Yeah, for Trinity, I mean, before this game, they already had conceded, I believe, 5 or 6 more goals than they did all of last season. And so, you know, the defensive struggles have been real for them, and that's something that they're going to need to improve on if they want to pick up some NESCAC wins. They have obviously had some tough opponents, is the reasoning behind that. But in their next games, and when they do have those opponents where they're a little bit more evenly matched, you know, you have to have that foundation of having a good back line if you want to go on and win those games.
Yeah, back line defense wins you championships, as I say, and as you mentioned, climbing up the NESCAC championship, the NESCAC standings is very crucial if you want to get far in the tournament, but Tufts seem to have at least secured a spot Don't want to jinx anything, of course, but seem to have at least secured a spot. Home game will obviously be ideal, that being a top 4 spot in the NESCAC standings, with Tufts currently sitting at 5th. It's very much within their reach, and a win today should bring them even closer.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be feeling good after this win. It's a big win for them, clearly. And, you know, these games where they play some of the more developing and some of the more weaker sides in the NESCAC, you know, they're really pulling away, and they're doing the job that they have to, and they're doing it very well. You know, you just want to see them perform a little bit better in those games against the tougher sides, against the more top-ranked opponents in the NESCAC, if they want to get that home game, as you said, if they want to get top 4.
Yeah, and one of those tough games coming up will be Middlebury in about 2 weeks' time, so make sure to tune in to JumboCast for that highly contested matchup. But for now, it remains 6-0 here on Bello against the Trinity Bantams. Won by Correnti. Maybe she can create something. Finnerty, the first year, doing a good job there, seeing that one out. It will be a Trinity throw. And we do remind you, yeah, in that NESCAC championship, you only need to be within the top 8 to make it to the tournament. So while Trinity do sit in last, a win, maybe just 6 points, 2 wins, that's all it takes. So yeah, hope may not be lost, but these are not the signs you want to see. Whipped inside. Poked away. Rosen has some space. Trying to poke it through to Cromit, but Trinity will be there to collect. Seems like Tufts have really eased up on the attacking.
Yeah, not showing as much maybe desire and will to go forward as they did early in the game. And, you know, that's kind of deserved. They've put the effort in. They've got their 6 goals. So, you know, more opportunistic attacking when they find the space ahead of them.
Yeah, six goals seems to be plenty for them. They won't try, may not quite reach that 7, which would be a record on the year, as they managed to tie their record, 6 against Conn College. So definitely intimidating, I think, if you're the rest of the NESCAC, that you could post 6 goals against a NESCAC opponent twice. So definitely sending out a message.
Yeah, and the clean sheet this time just makes it even more impressive. And, you know, those attacking players for Tufts are really on good form right now. And as you said, the rest of the NESCAC should definitely be looking out for Tufts, as they're a side who's definitely, you know, picking up some points here.
Yeah, momentum can take you a long way, and building off that win against Endicott, in which you scored 4, making it 10 goals in your last 2. I mean, that has to be very, very encouraging. Now heading into the last 5 of this 90. Quijada with the throw. That's Shannon, the first year. Good catch by John there. Goalkeeper coming into play. We've had to deal with quite a few loose balls that came our way. Will be a Trinity throw in the end. And yeah, you can see the pace really starting to slow down. I think both sides are pretty content with just letting this one end, but have to see it out all the way. Throw taken by Quijada. Jones will recycle it back to Capitolo. Comes to Rinker. She can take her time. Capitolo. Scanning. Out wide to Griffin. Up ahead to Cromit. No one there. And Correnti can take it back to Tamburello.
Yeah, you can hear the coaching staff there yelling up. They still want their players to show the same level of commitment to their type of game and to the way they play. And, you know, if you don't want them to get lazy and kind of forget the fundamentals of what they want to do. So that's smart from the coaching staff there, making sure that even though you have the backups in and even though you're up 6 goals with such little time left, you still keep, you know, your game going despite the circumstances.
Yeah, obviously it can be hard to find that motivation when you're down 6, but I think the principle still stands. You want to see this one all the way out, and Trinity will have to take some lessons from this, but doesn't mean their season's over. O'Reilly now, fighting for it in the midfield. Spinning away. Still fighting. Trinity still trying to get something out of it. Will come out to Cromit. Lays it back to O'Reilly. Evades her defender. Pointing ahead. She wants a run.
Yeah, great composure from O'Reilly there in the midfield.
And it kind of goes to show that if she has time to point and communicate verbally with her fellow Jumbos, then maybe the Trinity press isn't working. Finnerty lays it back to Hawk. This is great minutes, I'd say, for the freshmen as well. In a NESCAC game, it's good to really feel the pressure of a high level, regardless of the scoreline. It's still a high level match, so it will be good for Coach Whiting, see how her players play in these kinds of circumstances, and maybe evaluate later on when it gets to the postseason. Quijada with the throw. Neville pushing ahead, still with it. Poked ahead by Correnti. Griffin in the air now. Cromit spinning around, still has it. Headed on. Marion Jones showing why she's been one of the first names on the sheet. Always hustling. Griffin deflected off of Shannon. Throw from Griffin. Capizolo applying good pressure there. Trying to find the long run, but O'Neal, as she does so well, just lets that one roll out for a throw. And she will play out this full 90. The only member of this tough side to do so.
It's a good idea there from Marsick playing the long ball after the forward checked in. We've seen Tufts do it a lot. Trinity hasn't really been able to replicate the same level of success from their forwards, but it's a good idea, and you want to see those promising things despite the circumstances of the game.
Yeah, Tufts have been quality throughout this match, and as we enter the final minute of this match, seems like things will be wrapping up, and I'd say that just summarizes the day. It's just the through ball that doesn't find its woman, kind of dejected heads on the Trinity Bantams, but will be Natalie Rinker to take the goal kick and close this match out. What a day it's been for the Jumbos. Rinker will take it short into Capitolo. Jones, now wide to Griffin. One back though. Out for a throw. 10 seconds now. Throw taken. Popped up. Griffin boots it away, and that will be the game. 6-0 Tufts. How about that? 3 goals in the first half, 3 goals in the second half, 2 goals from Kelly. Incredible goal from Aries, flicked on. Incredible goal from Kelly. Some minutes for the first years. All smiles, as I said at halftime. All smiles, perhaps even bigger smiles now. Karsten, how about that? What a game to watch. Yeah,
great game from the Tufts all around. I think every single player can be super happy with the effort they've put in. I'm sure the coaching staff is super happy. And, overall, fantastic game from Tufts. Trinity, not the best game from them. They can definitely have some things that they want to build on after this one. And, as we said, they still have a good amount of their season left. They still have the ability to win some NESCAC games, pick up some points, and maybe make the tournament if they improve on some areas on the pitch. And, for Tufts, this is a great momentum builder for the next games, for the more difficult ones that they'll face coming up. And overall, I think a very, very fun and exciting game. Lots of goals.
Yeah, if you're Tufts, you're feeling great. As I mentioned, 10 goals in the last 2. A clean sheet on the day. And heading into Monday's game against out-of-conference Regis College, I think you'll be feeling like the odds are in your favor. So thank you very much for sticking with us today. We'll have a post-game interview for you shortly, so stick around with us, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We can just talk like this. Camera's up there, but
Okay.
Talk me, obviously a very impressive day for Tufts in general and for you as well. A brace, 2 goals. Talk me through the first, talk me through the second. How did it feel?
I felt great out there today. A lot of energy from the Bows. First goal, obviously running down the middle. Defenders didn't collapse on me, so I just took that shot. And second, similar situation. But it's great out there, a lot of fun.
Yeah, how did it feel as well? Obviously 6-0, you got a game 6-1 against Conn College as well. What makes this team click? It seems like you're building off that Final Four run from last year with these first years as well. How does the team feel? It seems like you have great chemistry.
Yeah, it's all about, we pride ourselves on being joyful out there, especially at home. Love the fans here supporting us. Just have fun. That's our main motto.
Yeah, we could see that. There was lots of smiles out there on Bello today, and Bello being such a great place to play. You'll be here again on Monday against Regis College. How do you guys feel about that? And you can keep it going, I'm sure.
Yeah, just keep the same energy, keep bringing it, just keep connecting our passes. If we work on the basics and get those down, then everything comes naturally and we can be more creative.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'll take your headset and celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. And for us here at JumboCast, we're back. We'll close it out for us here at JumboCast. Thank you very much for sticking with us. A 6-0 scoreline in the end. I want to thank the members of our crew. Zach Klein directing for the second half. Marco Salingbeni currently on cam. We had Karsten Lyle and John Areshabaleta. Close enough. On commentary, I've been Max Antonini. Thank you very much for joining us. Stick around for the men's game of Tufts versus Trinity. And as always, stay home safely.